I was just with the president in the Oval Office, and I can confirm that tomorrow, the February 1st deadline that President Trump put into place at a statement several weeks ago continues. The president will be implementing tomorrow a 25% tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, and a 10% tariff on China.
So, all the prices just started going up. Now, Mexico, it's going to vary on where you live, how much, but it's going to affect food prices and other things. But food prices are going to go up quite a bit. Now, if you live in places like Texas, it's a lot. But Texas now needs to get food from other places, so it's going to definitely increase your price of food. Egg prices probably not going down, let's put it that way. A 25% tariff on Canada, again, it's going to be felt in so many things, but a big one that people are going to talk about is gas prices and wood prices. Hopefully, you don't have to drive around a lot. Hopefully, you don't have to do any improvements to your home. Now, with gas prices, energy prices, your electricity can also possibly be going up as well. Now, you might be wondering, why are these 25%, but there's only a 10% on China, which of course a Chinese tariff is going to have Americans paying more for so much. China is in so many goods. And the reason a lot of people expect is really simple. Elon has a lot of direct business connections to China. Trump complains about China too much to not give them any tariff. Therefore, they get a lower one. It's the Elon discount. That's what a lot of people are assuming. So the American taxpayer is about to be paying a lot more in a tax because, yes, a tariff is a tax paid by Americans. I'm sorry, he's not telling you that. That's just how it is. Now, as she talks about this as if he's always keeping his promises, you might be wondering how Trump releasing the water in California is going. He was big on that. Thankfully, the local media is now reporting that appears to not be happening anymore, and it's scrapped, because what Trump actually ordered were like all these valves and things to be moved to max capacity, max flow, which causes floods that destroy buildings. Seriously. If you've never lived in an area where there's like a series of locks and dams or reservoirs or anything like that, max capacity is not something they do all the time. That's why it's called max capacity. And it's like a fail-safe if they can't keep back the water. So going to that is going to cause massive issues. Thankfully, it appears to all be scrapped. And turns out California was doing it right all along. Who would have guessed that they would know? Andy Ogles, who put forward the bill to allow Trump to run for a third term, but not Obama, is very happy today, because it appears the federal investigation into his crimes is being stopped by the Trump administration. Who saw that coming? Everyone? Okay. Now, I do need to talk real quick about the helicopter and plane crash, because Donald Trump, in an executive order, blamed it on DEI, Joe Biden, and Obama. And I want to be very clear. I dug into conservative social media when he did this. And I will be honest with what I saw. Pretty much everyone called Trump out. They did. I'm going to be honest. It was almost unanimous. There were a few people that are very deep into Trump is God Emperor, right? On social media, especially the personalities that have to be bigger than life and never question or they'll be destroyed for daring to go against Trump. Individuals were not happy. It was not, they didn't like his statements. They didn't like the way he did things. Some people were asking if he's senile now. Glad to see it, to be honest. But it was a lot of people did not like his focus on DEI. I don't think he's going to keep harping on DEI in that aspect. Of course, he's going to keep doing it forever for the rest of his presidency. But the reason is, specifically, he kind of zeroed in, and his administration did, on a DEI program that was put in place by the presidential administration in 2013. Yeah. Except, that's not really the case, because the exact current DEI program that was in effect was a different one that was, from my understanding, put in place during the Trump administration. You see, Trump's administration actually had a lot of DEI programs. And I do want to mention he complained about things like different things that you could still work in, like aviation, if you have disabilities, stuff like that. A lot of that so veterans can work, injured veterans, because if you're missing a leg, there's no reason you can't work at like an air traffic control tower with a headset, right? Yeah. And when Trump was asked if he was going to go see the site of the crash, 64 people died. He wanted Biden to go to Palestine, Ohio, East Palestine, Ohio, immediately because no one died, right? Biden waited, of course, for crews to clear it out, and then he went, which is what you're supposed to do to not interfere with cleanup. But Trump went there. When asked about seeing the location where 64 people died, Trump's response was, "What do you want me to do, swim?" Which again, I will say, conservative circles were not happy with that. They were not happy with that, and I'll give them the credit, okay? They were not happy with that. They did not like that. But what do you expect, right? You pick Trump. Now, with that being said, there was also claims that the helicopter pilot, of course, since Trump focused on DEI, was transgender. This is false. It's just not real. That's not the truth. What happened was some troll picked a transgender helicopter pilot who had nothing to do with it and claimed they were the pilot. They are alive, well, and have put out videos, and hopefully, I'm hoping that if any I don't know if any mainstream conservative media covered it, but if they do, I hope they go after them. Make them do a big correction. But I think it was mostly, again, social media influencers. And people love to say it doesn't matter what the social media influencers say, except it does. Because in some of these lies they're putting out, they're getting 6-7 million views. That is then repeated by people quoting it on their own pages, getting hundreds of thousands of views, and they are getting more spread than, for example, something said on Fox News. So there's a lot out there. I know I haven't covered a lot of politics lately, and a big reason is it's just depressing and massive and huge. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go to the store. That's what I'm going to do after this video is I hit upload, I'm going to the store. I'm going to buy some food that I need. I'm going to try to find a external hard drive so I could do longer recordings on this computer. And I'm going to do that with the hard drive because I'm worried I could probably wait a couple months. Maybe it'd be a little rough, but I don't want to have to deal with increased tariffs because where's the next tariff going to be, right? So hopefully everyone's prepared. You don't have your job tied into Canadian goods or Mexican goods. If you work in industries that do, it's going to suck. But we'll see how long the tariffs last. There's a chance Trump won't admit that he shouldn't have done them and they last his whole administration. But hey, he's talked about 100% tariffs on some countries, so there's still more damage to be done.